So here, I would say take your knee and just try to cover one of his arms there. He does a good job setting up uh, an underhook here. So right there, and he has a 2-on-1. Yeah, get to your knees and or feet a lot sooner. Bring your base back to establish a more stable base. So you're gonna see right here, his knees aren't going anywhere. You could have been taking your left knee to staple his legs to the ground, uh, especially you know he has control. You can actually just go the other way. Both there's nothing stopping you from taking your left arm and kind of pinning his knees here. So go to the other side. It's not ideal, but just I would say before you move, establish what grips you want here. As you start to go around, he starts his sweep. This isn't, he doesn't have a sweep here. Eventually, his leg, you can see how his leg's down here. Come to your knees or elbow, and you can throw your shin across, and that's just gonna pin him. It's not gonna matter that he has arm control anymore. He's on the bottom, and his hips are pinned. And you could also effectively do that with your left arm. You could have pinned here. A whizzer position, so taking your arm and going under Vin's armpit, and then throwing your hips back is going to help stop this sweep. You do it. It's a little late here, and your hips are kind of entirely over him. Yeah, take your hips back. Here, a sweep is going to occur once his hips or your hips are near of his head here. He has, you effectively given him control of your hips and legs here. Just kind of stopped and let him go. Good sweep by him. He's a good player, and he's a really good defensive player, which makes your job a lot tougher. You go over. I like to see when you go over, if you could, as soon as you hit the ground, start moving your hips away. Yep. So you have this there's space behind you. You eventually get there, but not before. Yeah, so you don't do it until here. Yeah, space behind you, space behind you, space behind you. You get there now. All right, from here, set up your grips and go. So you'll see where your feet are past him, instead of controlling a hip or getting inside position or being on his bicep or something, or even retracted towards your body would be a better position for you here. So he kind of stands up. You go for the sweep. He's just has a pretty good base at this point, and your hips are off the ground a little here. So move your legs. Yeah, here we go. There you go. To fight this a little better. Yeah. Inside position with your legs, and once he has this, like, you don't have anything to affect his hips. So I would either you got to do something with your arms to defend, roll backwards, or kick away from his grips using your arms. You do a pretty good thing of defending your leg locks here, whether you meant to or not, getting your knee line free. So he doesn't have anything here. You could have gone and smashed him to the side here and put your knee down and make him work. Drop his hands here. It's hard to see from this side, but what he's doing is going under your leg to try and expose your ankle. You do a pretty good job. I would say push or wedge something in onto his knees, make him go to that side or something so that you can free your leg up. So here's a really good thing you do. Yep, is you push him off and free your knee. It's critical. Good job by you. Critical part of defending leg locks is just to see where your knee is. It's closer in proximity to his body, so you push and pull your knee out. Can't leg lock you if they don't have control of your knee. Here you do have space for a knee slice. You just stepped up with the opposite leg. See how his right leg is down, and you're controlling the other one. So if you knee slice here with your right leg, nearest to the camera here, step in and knee slice, there's not much he can do about that. And I don't know, it doesn't look like he has control of your left arm. So you can push the leg down, or kind of grab control of his leg here, and start to formulate a pass, or at least immobilize him. Your left arm can be doing some of that work, or pushing the leg, or helping you maintain base. There's a rule about, basically, you want your head above your butt at all times, or else you're susceptible to being swept. If you look at sweeps, it's when they put your head under your butt. See, you let him do whatever with that leg, and eventually he gets kind of this modified tripod sweep. You do a pretty good job of defending that lasso. He's not really bothering you with that grip. How to escape the lasso is essentially you have to pin the one side down and then unwind that side. Here you let him move, and he grabbed your near leg, and he does essentially this sweep. Again, if you take your left arm and kind of push this by, because he does this like modified kind of tripod sweep, which is not really much. He doesn't have control of your, he has control of your leg, so you can't move, but your arm can be defending that leg. So here, see this right leg, and it is hanging out doing nothing, and you give it to him. So be standing up. You get there eventually. Yeah, stand up. You could have done that a lot earlier. Here, he has an underhook you don't want him to have, and look where his leg is in his arm. You could be up on your feet to the best of your ability. Yeah, you kind of just drive him back into guard, but we'll rewind here. See where your leg is down, you can take your shin, smash his leg down, and go start to circle around with your other leg. He's not controlling your left leg. He's controlling your posture. Yes, he has a good underhook, but you can fight this to one side. He doesn't really have great positioning with his legs. You put him back into guard. You gotta watch this triangle here as your arm is way out inside. Going back to what happened here, I think you realized that you're in kind of trouble and tried to get the other arm out. You do a good job of escaping this. This is really not his best sweep, but you do a good job of putting your base out. So if you put your base kind of more towards his leg, it'd be an easier sweep. And I would say if you your knee, he's trying to control, if you drive that into him, it's going to help you base from there. And just keeping your head above your butt. Yeah, good job getting out of there. Here, okay, he's not doing anything particularly well here in transition, but you let him have your leg essentially. So same thing here. Smash his hips down before move, kind of with your shin, or keep his glue his hand to the ground. This top hand, his left hand here, that'll stop him from turning, and immobilizing his guard. Work on this essentially, so you get a better understanding of what I mean. Okay, so here you kind of hesitate and then give up your arms, head over butt thing again. You do have the ability to. So see where your head was. You do have the ability to catch a knee bar here. And I would say just go with the sweep a little more, that might help you regain guard. So driving your knee, you do have his leg. You do a good. You realize it and kind of fight for it. Here, it's a little late because your hips aren't all the way there. So I'm saying jump it with the intention of going for the knee bar. Yeah, and he's able to sweep you under because you didn't kind of go far enough. Okay, here, yeah, same deal. Your head and your butt, and he sweeps. So you kind of gave him your arm. Fight his legs a little more. He does an arm drag. Yeah, if you jump through with that knee and take one out, yeah, that's a fine job. You didn't do anything with that sweep. You sat down in good defense, and we're ready to go. Here is where you do some good. Well, let's see where your head is and his head is. Just throw his head down. He's a big, strong guy. Start throwing his head down. Your head's much higher than his, and you kind of reach with your arms to grab, to pull him down. But yeah, just push his head down. Okay. So good job by you getting onto your right hip, like you're supposed to, and he kind of recognizes that his back is vulnerable here, so he is going to turtle up. So you kind of made that happen by getting onto your hip. He's got a really good turtle. He's a very strong human. It's going to be hard to break this down. So good job. Keep on top of him. When he breaks down, you disconnected from him there. And you're letting him fight. So when he keep this weight on top of him, good job keeping your weight on top of him for the actual spin and turnaround. But then he kind of he just let him go. Here you could have also snatched up the leg and head and kind of gone to the other side or getting this kind of modified takedown by taking your left arm and snatching his knee up, or at least immobilizing his knee, and bringing him back to his back. So here you have the option of pushing his head down and snatching his knee in this transition. You're gonna have to work the transitions. Yeah, now he's in turtle, so it's gonna be really hard to take him out of there. So as soon as you disconnect though from him, right here he goes. So keep your chest on them and push them so you're more connected, and again circling past this leg. So his leg is vulnerable to you passing, essentially. Your arm's in good position. Your feet aren't, though. Get up onto one feet and go around this leg. So he disconnects and he sits down into guard, and you should be immediately ready to pass. So however you do it, come up onto a knee, get control of his legs, pass, pin his leg to the ground. Here. So right here, push this leg to the ground. This is a pretty good sweep, but you have the right defensive idea. Push this leg to the ground. Posture. You can come to your knee here. So you go up. He breaks your posture. Go right back to your knee here. See where your head is. Kind of pull your butt. Yeah, that's sweep. That's sweep time. Go. I would go right back to the knees and try and work for building up your posture from there. Yeah. So push this leg down at the ankle. You have the right idea here. You just have to commit to pushing this knee down. He's not particularly strong that way. This does a lot of thigh master work. Just push this knee down to the ground, and you're gonna just soccer kick out of that. If you look at any kind of De La Riva passing videos, that's gonna be in there. You're gonna kill the one side hook. Your other arm you want to have inside his leg, his other leg, because that eventually is what gets the sweep, right? Because he's able to shoot his hips. So if this other arm, your right arm here, can be controlling his knee, you can stop this sweep from happening. But yep, he's gonna shoot his hips up, yeah, and dip it down. Again, move your hips away. Boom, boom. You do it. Here's kind of interesting. So you have this kind of inside position. I would go under him and start to formulate kind of a single leg X guard, or you've disconnected your arms from control of him and moved away. He's not really controlling your bottom leg either, so it's possible to strip grips, stand up, or formulate a single leg De La Riva, which you do right here. Your body's just at the wrong angle. So we'll go back. So if you went out to the left here, wrap your left foot around his thigh, and kind of keep a good angle. You have the beginnings of a De La Riva guard. You do it kind of naturally here when he steps around, but you just don't have the angle with your left leg. So he comes around square to you. You would have needed to be on his right side a little more. Yeah, there. Yep. How he turned your leg out and broke the De La Riva. So you do. Yep. Good idea about the sweep. That's the concept I want you to get. Yeah. And on the hips, his foot is just too far back. So here, you say, "Yep, this is a good recognition." Here, he's not doing much with his arms. He's not controlling your legs, so he's primed for kind of a tripod sweep. You just miss his leg by a couple inches here. So when you go to do this tripod sweep, you recognize it here. So you grab high, which you had to, but yeah, low. Two up towards the knee. You need to be down near the calf area. And if you had hooked kind of inside his other leg and moved around, maybe you get it. Here is some good stuff. So in this tripod, he's controlling your legs here. Yeah. Move back towards me. You have the right grip. Yeah, you do it eventually. Here. Yep. And here's some brilliant stuff. You chase the back, which is what you're supposed to be doing here. So, good stuff. Here, chase the back. He realizes he's in trouble about here. And goes to Panda. When you pull him straight back, I want you to make more of a circle. So he just kind of went straight up on top of you. Especially with a bigger guy like that, knows what he's doing. You want to have your legs in a better position and to be like more on your side, so you can use your legs to defend his arms. If his hips are over your hips, you're essentially pinned, right? So I would keep on circling behind them to get in a better position. Yeah. So you pull. So instead of here, be moving to your left here to making a circle, tightening that grip, and you can make a grip to stop him from turning. So see here, you have not a great grip to stop him from turning, and your hooks were up on his stomach instead, where he's stronger there. They're down lower or up higher near his arms. I'm always trying to get kind of control of his arms with my legs, but you have to get more of an angle so his body doesn't fall straight on top of your hips, or his hips don't fall on top of your hips. So here, good recognition. Put your head towards the floor and crunch your right side in. Yeah, I know he's pulling up, but that's going to help you do it. You look to the ground. Yep. Keep this position. Keep looking towards the ground here. You decide to make a wedge, which fortunately leads to an armbar here. So you made a wedge here. He couldn't swing that leg over if you just left that arm there. We did the class with Rob that you probably don't have this habit anymore, but understand what's happening here. is you let him out of you bailed him out. You had a good position. Turning into that choke. Here, get the arm. Okay, so your feet come off the floor and kind of not defending anything. You do it with the head. Here, so get your feet to the floor. Your feet. I mean, it looks bad on video, but your feet are get to the floor. You do a good job here. You can also point your thumb down to help prevent the arm bar. If you land on your side, yeah, keep going to the other side. You let yourself get flat. Otherwise, good escape here, pushing your leg over, or getting your body on top of his head and coming up. Overall, great job. Lots of good stuff here.